A subtle change that maybe even you haven't consciously registered? Picture this. Maybe you're sharing an elevator with friendly neighbors, but sense they're keeping a little more distance than usual. Or perhaps that cherished grandchild who normally clings close seems just a bit hesitant when you ask for a big hug. Those fleeting moments can leave a little pang, making you wonder, is something off? Today, we're going to bravely look directly at a truth that perhaps very few people dare to address head-on: the natural shift in body odor that often occurs as we get older, what some people refer to as the old person smell. Here's a somewhat surprising fact, drawn from research and experience working with thousands of seniors. As many as 99% of us over the age of 60 don't actually notice this distinct scent on ourselves. Yet those around us, particularly those with a more sensitive sense of smell, often can. What's often sadder is the silence surrounding this topic. Family and friends, out of love and fear of causing hurt, usually choose not to mention it. As a result, many older adults live with a vague sense of self-consciousness without understanding the root cause, or worse, blame themselves, thinking they aren't clean enough. But I want you to know this right from the start. This is absolutely not your fault. This change is a completely natural part of the biological aging process. Our bodies change, their functions operate differently, and that leads to shifts in body odor. It's science, not a personal shortcoming. So, why do we need to talk about this? Because the lack of understanding and the surrounding silence can lead to unnecessary hurt, strain relationships, and erode precious self-confidence. But here's the truly good news. This situation is absolutely something that can be significantly improved. In this conversation, we'll pull back the curtain on some secrets you might not have heard anywhere else. We'll explore the scientific root causes behind this age-related body odor together. And most importantly, I'll share some incredibly simple methods, easy to do right at home, proven tricks of the trade, if you will. Things that, when applied correctly, can make a noticeable difference in a short amount of time, helping you regain comfort and confidence. Are you ready to uncover these hidden truths and grasp the keys to feeling fresher and more confident in your own skin? Listen closely, because what's about to be revealed truly has the potential to make a positive change in your life. Before we get started, I'd love to know where you're joining me from today. Drop a comment below and feel free to ask any questions you have. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a health-boosting tip from Elder's Guidance. So, we've acknowledged this sensitive topic, and I've reassured you that the changes in body odor as we age are natural and biological, not a reflection on your personal hygiene. Now let's delve a little deeper into the fascinating science behind why these changes happen. Understanding the root causes is the crucial first step towards finding effective solutions. It's not just vague aging. There are specific physiological shifts occurring. First, let's talk about sweat. You might think that sweating less as you get older would mean less odor, but often the opposite is true. Here's why. When we're younger, our bodies tend to produce more sweat, especially through our eccrine glands, which helps regulate temperature but also acts like a natural cleansing mechanism. Think of sweat as helping to flush away waste products and toxins from the skin's surface. As we age, the overall volume of sweat we produce tends to decrease, sometimes significantly. When there's less sweat to regularly wash away these waste materials, they can accumulate on the skin. This buildup then becomes a food source for certain types of bacteria living naturally on our skin. These bacteria consume these compounds and, as a byproduct of their metabolism, release substances that have a distinct odor. It's like a slow-flowing river compared to a rushing one. The slower flow allows sediment and debris to settle and build up on the riverbed, In this case, the sediment is skin waste, and the riverbed is your skin. So, less sweat doesn't automatically mean less smell. It can mean less effective natural cleansing. The second major factor involves sebum, the natural oil produced by our skin's sebaceous glands. Sebum is essential. It lubricates our skin and hair and helps maintain a protective barrier. However, the composition of sebum changes as we age. Specifically, there's an increase in certain types of fatty acids, particularly unsaturated fatty acids like palmitoleic acid. Now, these fatty acids themselves aren't necessarily smelly. The issue arises when they undergo a process called lipid peroxidation. This happens when these specific fats on the skin's surface react with oxygen in the air and are broken down by enzymes from skin bacteria. One of the primary byproducts of this breakdown is a compound called 2-nonenal. Researchers, particularly in Japan, identified 2-nonenal as a key molecule responsible for the characteristic scent often associated with aging skin. It's often described as having a greasy, grassy, or somewhat waxy odor. This compound is barely detectable on the skin of younger individuals, but increases significantly, often starting around age 40 or 50 and becoming more prominent later on. Think of it like butter left out on the counter. Over time, it reacts with the air, oxidizes, and develops that distinct rancid smell. A similar, though much slower and more complex chemical process happens with specific oils on aging skin, creating nonenal. The third piece of the puzzle lies within our mouth. As we get older, many people experience a decrease in saliva production, a condition known as xerostomia, or simply dry mouth. This can happen for several reasons, including the side effects of many common medications, like those for blood pressure, allergies, or depression, dehydration, certain medical conditions, or just the natural aging process of the salivary glands. Saliva is incredibly important for oral health. It doesn't just moisten food, it washes away food particles and bacteria, neutralizes acids that can cause tooth decay, and contains enzymes and antibodies that help control the microbial population in our mouths. When saliva flow decreases, the mouth becomes dry, and this environment allows certain types of anaerobic bacteria that thrive without oxygen, to multiply rapidly, especially on the back of the tongue. These bacteria feast on leftover food particles and dead cells, producing foul-smelling volatile sulfur compounds, VSCs, as waste. These VSCs are the primary culprits behind bad breath, or halitosis, which can contribute significantly to the overall perceived body odor, especially during close conversation. A dry mouth can also make chewing and swallowing less comfortable, and might even affect how dentures fit or feel. So, you see, it's not just one single thing. It's a combination effect. Potentially less effective cleansing due to reduced sweat, the unique odor produced by the breakdown of specific skin oils into nonenal, and an increase in odor-causing bacteria in the mouth due to reduced saliva flow. These factors work together, creating that distinct change in scent that many people experience or notice in others as they age. Understanding these three key biological shifts in sweat, sebum, and saliva demystifies the issue. It takes it out of the realm of personal failing and places it firmly in the context of natural aging. And knowing the why is the first powerful step towards learning the how to effectively manage and minimize these changes. Now that we have this foundation, we can move on to the practical, actionable steps you can take. If you enjoyed this video, comment 1 to let me know. If not, comment 2. Your thought matters to me either way. So, we've established the science, the why behind the changes. Now let's focus on the empowering how. We'll start with foundational lifestyle adjustments. These aren't complicated procedures, just simple everyday habits that lay the groundwork for managing body odor effectively, while boosting your overall health at the same time. First and foremost, let's revisit hydration. We often underestimate the power of plain water. It's not just about quenching thirst, it's your body's essential internal rinsing system. Drinking enough water helps flush out metabolic waste products through your kidneys, reducing the amount that might need to be processed through your skin. Staying well hydrated is also absolutely crucial for producing enough saliva, which, as we learned, is your mouth's natural defense against odor-causing bacteria. And let's not forget your skin. Hydrated skin is healthier, more resilient, and less likely to become overly dry or flaky, which can sometimes trap odors. A common challenge as we age is that our natural thirst signal might not be as strong as it used to be. This means we can become slightly dehydrated without even realizing it. Therefore, being proactive about fluid intake is key. How can you make drinking enough water a regular part of your day? Try starting your morning with a glass of water, perhaps even before your first cup of coffee or tea. Keep a designated water bottle or an attractive pitcher filled and visible. Having it in sight serves as a constant, gentle reminder. You could set a quiet alarm on your phone or watch for certain times of the day. Make it a point to sip water during your meals, not just before or after. And remember, you can eat your water too. Many fruits and vegetables have high water content. Think crisp cucumbers, juicy melons like cantaloupe or watermelon, celery sticks, oranges, and berries. Consciously adding these to your diet boosts hydration. If plain water feels monotonous, enhance it naturally. Add slices of lemon, lime, orange, a few cucumber ribbons, or even a sprig of fresh mint. These add flavor without unwanted sugar or chemicals. While some mild herbal teas like chamomile or peppermint can contribute to your fluid intake, remember that plain water is truly the gold standard. Be mindful that caffeinated beverages like coffee and strong black tea can have a mild dehydrating effect, so they aren't ideal replacements for your water intake. Prioritizing consistent hydration is perhaps the single most important foundational step you can take. Now, let's move to the second pillar: gentle movement and sensible sun exposure. When I say movement, please don't think you need to start training for a marathon. We're talking about incorporating regular, gentle activity into your routine. Why is this beneficial? Firstly, movement improves your blood circulation. Better circulation means more efficient delivery of nutrients to your skin and, just as importantly, more efficient removal of waste products away from the skin. Secondly, even mild activity can induce a light sweat, which, as we know, acts as a natural way to help cleanse the pores. Think of activities like a brisk walk around the neighborhood, gentle stretching routines, Tai Chi, which is wonderful for balance, water aerobics, very kind to the joints, or even gardening if you enjoy it and are able. Aiming for consistency, perhaps 20-30 minutes most days of the week, is more important than intensity. Listen to your body and choose activities you enjoy. Alongside movement, sensible sun exposure plays a role. A short period in the sun, ideally during the less intense parts of the day, like early morning or late afternoon, helps your body synthesize vitamin D, crucial for bone health and immune function. Sunlight also has natural antibacterial properties that might benefit the skin's surface. We're talking about just 15-20 minutes of exposure without sunscreen, taking care not to burn. Always protect your eyes, and if you plan to be out longer or have sensitive skin, definitely apply sunscreen. Many people find that starting small, maybe with just 10 minutes of stretching or a short walk, makes it feel achievable, and they gradually notice benefits not just in mobility, but also in feeling generally fresher. Finally, let's touch upon the third foundational habit: bathing wisely. Regular bathing is, of course, essential for removing the daily accumulation of sweat, surface oils, including those that can break down into nonenal, dead skin cells, and bacteria. However, how you bathe matters. One common mistake is using water that's too hot. While a steaming hot shower might feel good momentarily, it can strip your skin of its natural protective oils, disrupt the delicate balance of your skin's microbiome, the community of good and bad bacteria, and lead to dryness and irritation, all of which can potentially worsen odor issues in the long run. Aim for water that is comfortably warm, around 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, or 38 to 40 Celsius. Warm enough to cleanse effectively, but not so hot that it leaves your skin feeling tight or itchy. When choosing a cleanser, opt for something mild and gentle. Harsh deodorant soaps or antibacterial washes can sometimes be too stripping and may even kill off beneficial bacteria that help keep odor-causing ones in check. Look for pH-balanced, fragrance-free soaps or moisturizing body washes. And remember that weekly warm soak we mentioned earlier? Taking 15-20 minutes to soak in a comfortably warm bath can be wonderfully relaxing and also helps to soften the skin and loosen debris from pores. Mastering these three foundational pillars, staying well hydrated, incorporating gentle movement and sensible sun exposure, and bathing wisely, creates a solid base upon which we can build more targeted strategies, which we'll explore next. Why focus on specific spots? Think about it. Certain areas of our bodies naturally create environments where moisture gets trapped. There's less air circulation. Skin might rub against skin, and warmth builds up. These conditions are practically an open invitation for bacteria to multiply, and for those odor compounds, like nonenal that we discussed, to accumulate. While a general wash is good, giving extra attention to these key zones can eliminate a significant portion of the odor at its source. It's estimated that a large percentage, perhaps even up to 90%, of that distinct age-related smell originates from these often neglected areas. So, let's pinpoint them. Target area. Number 1, skin folds, also known as intertriginous areas. These are the spots where skin touches skin, creating warm, moist pockets. We need to be diligent here. Key areas include right behind your ears and the creases of your neck, often overlooked. Your underarms, a classic area. Under the breasts for women. Under any folds on the abdomen, if present. Inside your navel, belly button, easily forgotten. The groin area, where your legs meet your torso. The creases behind your knees. The area between the buttocks. When washing these folded areas, the technique is important. Use your hands or a very soft washcloth with mild soap. Gently lift the skin folds to cleanse the skin underneath thoroughly but without harsh scrubbing, which can cause irritation. Crucially, rinse away all traces of soap, as residue can be irritating and counterproductive, and perhaps most importantly, drying. These areas must be dried completely after bathing. Trapped moisture is the enemy here. Pat gently with a clean, soft towel, making sure you get right into the creases. If you live in a humid climate or find it hard to get these areas fully dry, using a hairdryer on its coolest setting, held at a distance, can be very helpful. Remember, dampness allows bacteria to thrive, potentially leading to skin irritation like intertrigo as well as odor. A little extra attention here goes a long way. Target area number 2, hair-bearing areas. Hair, wherever it is on the body, can trap sweat, sebum, skin oil, and bacteria, essentially increasing the surface area where odors can develop. Your scalp. Even if you don't have a full head of hair, your scalp produces sebum. When shampooing, don't just quickly lather and rinse. Take an extra minute to gently massage your entire scalp with your fingertips, not your nails, to help loosen oils and dead skin cells before rinsing thoroughly. The frequency of shampooing depends on your hair type, but ensuring a clean scalp is key. Underarms and the groin area. These are obvious spots. Wash gently but thoroughly. For some people, keeping the hair in these areas trimmed shorter, if you're comfortable doing so, can help reduce trapped moisture and the surface area available for bacteria. But this is entirely a personal preference. Chest, back, or abdomen. If you have noticeable hair growth in these areas, give them the same focused attention during washing. The principle is simple. Hair traps odor-causing elements, so keeping these areas clean requires focused effort. Target area number 3, high sweat zones. Certain parts of our bodies simply have a higher concentration of sweat glands. Feet. Our feet have thousands of sweat glands, and they spend most of the day enclosed in shoes, a warm, dark, moist environment perfect for bacteria. This is why foot odor can be so persistent. When washing, don't just soap the tops. Scrub the soles gently and pay very close attention to washing between each toe. Clean around the toenails too. And again, drying is absolutely critical. After washing, dry your feet thoroughly with a towel, taking extra care to dry completely between each toe before putting on socks. Always wear clean socks, preferably made from breathable materials like cotton, merino wool, or moisture-wicking synthetics designed for athletics. Try not to wear the same pair of shoes 2 days in a row. Give them at least 24 hours to air out and dry completely. This focused foot care can dramatically reduce odor that can otherwise permeate socks and shoes. Imagine the relief of knowing persistent foot odor is finally under control. Palms. While our palms do sweat, they are usually exposed to air and washed frequently throughout the day, so they are less commonly a source of overall body odor compared to feet. The back. This area can be hard to reach but can definitely accumulate sweat, especially down the center. Using a long-handled bath brush with soft bristles or a washcloth looped through a strap can make cleansing your back much easier and more effective. So, to recap this targeted approach, during your daily warm, not hot, shower or bath, using your mild, preferably fragrance-free cleanser, pay special, deliberate attention to cleansing and thoroughly drying these 3 key zones: the skin folds, the hair-bearing areas, and the high sweat zones like your feet. Be gentle but thorough. This focused effort addresses the primary areas where odor originates. And always follow up, after drying completely, with a simple, fragrance-free moisturizer to keep your skin barrier healthy. Making this targeted cleansing a regular part of your bathing routine is likely the single most impactful secret to significantly reducing age-related body odor. Combined with our foundational habits, it puts you firmly in control. Think of your diet as working in partnership with your hygiene habits. Certain foods can help combat the internal processes that contribute to odor, while others might exacerbate them. A key strategy is boosting your intake of antioxidants. These compounds help fight oxidative stress in your body, the very process linked to the formation of nonenal, that specific age-related odor molecule. Load up on colorful fruits and vegetables. Think berries, leafy greens like spinach, and bell peppers. Even garlic, despite its initial strong scent, contains powerful antioxidants like allicin that offer long-term benefits for combating odor-causing processes. Also, don't forget foods high in water content, like melon and cucumber. They help keep your system flushed and hydrated. Your oral health is crucial too, as mouth odors contribute significantly. While good brushing and tongue scraping are vital, your diet helps. Limiting sugary foods and drinks reduces the fuel for odor-causing bacteria in your mouth. Chewing sugar-free gum, especially kinds with xylitol, after meals can stimulate saliva flow, which naturally cleanses the mouth and neutralizes odors. It's also wise to be mindful of moderation. Drinks like coffee and alcohol can be dehydrating, reducing saliva and potentially concentrating waste products, which can worsen body odor. Listening to your body regarding other foods, like excessive red meat or highly processed items, might also be helpful. Finally, don't neglect fiber. A diet rich in fiber from whole grains, vegetables, fruits, and legumes promotes regular digestion. This is important because constipation can slow the elimination of waste, potentially allowing odor-causing compounds to be reabsorbed and released through the skin or breath. Making these dietary shifts doesn't have to be drastic. Focusing on incorporating more antioxidant-rich produce, staying hydrated through food and water, supporting oral health, being moderate with potential triggers, and ensuring enough fiber can work wonders. These choices support your body's natural systems, complementing your hygiene efforts to help you feel fresh and confident from within. Think about it. The sweat, skin oils, and tiny skin cells your body naturally sheds don't just disappear. They transfer onto your clothes, your towels, and your bedding. If left unwashed, these fabrics become feeding grounds for the same bacteria that contribute to body odor. That's why putting on clothes that aren't fresh, even after a thorough shower, can bring back unwanted smells. So, frequent laundering is key. Make it a habit to change your clothes daily, paying particular attention to underwear and any garments worn directly against the skin. Choose breathable fabrics like cotton whenever possible, as they allow better air circulation compared to synthetics that can trap moisture. Your bedding also requires regular attention. We spend hours sleeping, during which time our bodies continue to shed skin cells and perspire. Wash your sheets and pillowcases at least once a week in warm or hot water. Always check the care label first. Pillowcases especially can accumulate oils and residues from your hair and face. And consider replacing pillows every year or two, as they can harbor dust mites and absorbed odors over time. If possible, drying clothes and bedding in the sunshine offers natural sanitizing benefits. Don't forget your shoes. As we discussed, rotating pairs to allow them to dry out completely is crucial. If needed, simple tricks like sprinkling baking soda inside or using charcoal inserts can help absorb lingering moisture and odors. Finally, let's talk about fresh air. Stale, stagnant indoor air can trap and concentrate odors. Make it a practice to ventilate your home regularly. Try opening windows in different rooms for just 10 to 15 minutes, perhaps once in the morning and once in the evening, to allow fresh air to circulate and clear out any lingering smells. Pay extra attention to bathrooms and kitchens, using exhaust fans when showering or cooking. Managing your environment, keeping fabrics clean and ensuring fresh air circulation is the final supporting element in this holistic approach. It works together with personal hygiene and mindful diet to create a comprehensive strategy for feeling fresh, comfortable, and confident every day. We've learned that managing age-related body odor isn't about one magic bullet, but a holistic approach. It starts with understanding the natural biological changes in sweat, sebum, and saliva. Then, it builds upon foundational habits like hydration and gentle movement, incorporates targeted cleansing of key areas, supports freshness through mindful eating, and considers the cleanliness of our clothes, bedding, and home environment. Taking these manageable steps isn't about shame. It's about proactive self-care and enhancing your quality of life. It's about feeling comfortable and confident in your own skin, allowing you to connect more freely and joyfully with the people you love. Don't let this natural change hold you back. Start with 1 or 2 small adjustments today. You have the power to feel fresher and more self-assured. If you enjoyed this video, comment 1 to let me know. If not, comment 2. Your thought matter to me either way.